All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Very excited class today. I'm actually very excited to be teaching a class on BRC-20. Now, you guys may have heard about BRC-20. You may have not. It is a brand new frontier, very new. It's only been around, I believe, 3 months, maybe a little bit over 3 months, around there. But it is something that I think it will continue to grow exponentially. Think of it like Bitcoin first started out or Ethereum chain, right? Imagine if you can buy into some of the top 5 projects early on. Is my mic okay, Mike?
Yeah, loud and clear on my side, brother. No.
Okay, so the mic keep messing with me. Sometimes I think we had an issue yesterday, so periodically the mic it freezes on me, so I'm not sure whether I'm coming through or not. But let me know if I do not come through, okay? So so I think BRC-20, brand new sector, it's growing rapidly, very quick. Like you guys may have noticed already, we like to bring new things to you guys. Whether that's a new project, whether that's new technology, we try to stay on top of it. So that way we can educate our community accordingly to give you guys a chance to take advantage of the opportunity, right? And it's the same thing why we're holding this class. I believe BRC-20 is not going away anywhere. It's actually the beginning. And those are familiar with the BRC-20, you may have noticed that it's crazy. It's crazy because it is on the Bitcoin blockchain. So with that, let's get the class going. So as we, as I'm presenting the project here or the slides here, you guys more than welcome to stop me, ask questions. I want to treat this as like an AMA form. Okay, so ask me as I go, so that way I can answer questions accordingly, and so you guys have a better understanding of it. Okay, so let me see here. This is actually like one of the second times I ever used the share screen, so I apologize if I a little slow on this here. Okay, so BRC-20, what is it and how can I participate? Of course, brought to you by USA Crypto Group. All right, so how BRC-20 started. Now, before we get to BRC-20, we have to kind of backtrack a bit, so that way we kind of understand the history of how it all began. First, we have to understand what ordinals are. So you guys may have heard of ordinals, aka NFTs, right? So for the longest time, Bitcoin is pretty much looked at as a store of value. So meaning it has no utility. You cannot do anything with it besides transactions and just sits there, right? And that's the reason why you have Ethereum, you have other chains popped up, because there were not any, we didn't have any use case on the Bitcoin blockchain. So for the first time now, we actually have utilities. So we will go in depth on what those are. But it first started out as ordinals. So back in January 2023, there's a Casey. Casey, he started ordinals. So I'm not sure if you have sort of ordinals theory, but pretty much what ordinal theories is that you are able to break down Satoshi individually to the smallest unit of Bitcoin, which we know that there are 100 million Satoshi in one Bitcoin, right? So what helped that breakthrough was also there was an upgrade of Taproot. So what Taproot does is that it allows a block to be completely, there's no limit to the block size, right? There's no limit to the memory that you can actually input into the block, which is 4 megabytes. So because of that, there was an upgrade in Taproot that opens up a lot of innovation, and there come Ordinals by Casey. So that's what that is. Now, fast forward to March 8, 2023. Okay, that's when BRC-20 was introduced. Now, the name BRC is a play on Ethereum's ERC-20 token standard, although BRC-20 is much simpler and it is constrained due to limitations of the Bitcoin blockchain. Can you still hear me okay, Mike?
Loud and clear.
Perfect. Yeah, so again, guys, so back, Bitcoin it was not designed to have anything built on top of it until there was an upgrade on Taproot, right? That was the latest innovation, the latest upgrade. Then Ordinals came out. Then you have let me see here, this guy named Doma Data, as you can see here. If you guys want to follow him over on Twitter, please do so. I put his name on here because you got to give credit where it's due. But anyway, so he came up with the name BRC-20. Of course, it's a play on Ethereum ERC-20 standard token. We all know that. But it utilizes ordinal inscriptions of JSON data to deploy token contracts, mint tokens, and transfer tokens. Okay. Now, when it first started out, BRC-20 token standard is an experimental fungible token standard for Bitcoin. It started out as an experiment. It was an experimental thing, but as we know, everything started out as an experimental until adoptions happen, right? And that's exactly what happened. If you read the GitHub, literally, he put out a paper saying that it has no value, but the community saw it differently. Everyone flocked to BRC-20. Now it's growing like tremendous. I mean, it's the growth of BRC-20 is almost unbelievable, and that's the reason why we're holding this class. We want to make sure that you guys have an opportunity to learn, but also to capitalize on this opportunity. Maybe 2 years from now, you guys will be financially off, and your friends will be like, you got lucky. But I think there's no luck, right? Preparations meet opportunity, right? And so this class hopefully will prepare you guys so you guys can meet those opportunities down the line here. All right, so let's get into the technicality of the BRC-20. But again, it was created by Doma Data. Okay, you guys can actually look at it on Twitter. Make sure you follow him. So it was actually, make sure you follow him and just be in tune of BRC-20 so you guys get the latest news, etc. Again, I do not think that it's no longer an experiment. I think that we are at the stage of finding improvements. You have a lot of developers coming on board. Things are moving rapidly. In fact, a week ago, you have Gate.io started listing BRC-20. So think about that. So you have other exchanges now actually listing BRC-20. So even the big players are recognizing how big of the demand for BRC-20 is and the potential of it. So yeah, guys, it's right now you want to make sure that you guys are on top of it. This is an opportunity of a lifetime again to me. I think it's kind of like when Ethereum started, right? Imagine you're able to invest in some legitimate projects, like top 5 projects, when the Ethereum chain just came out. I bought Bitcoin. I still have transactions of buying Ethereum. I mean, at like $2, $3. Think about that, right? But I didn't hold it, of course, like a lot of people, right? So here's our chance again. So we're still very, very early. And one thing about the Bitcoin is that, we will go more in depth as we go on. But one thing about Bitcoin chain is that fully decentralized, right? And that's what I like about it. And we will go in depth on how it practices the first principle of crypto, which is fully decentralized, fair launch, and all the good stuff. But we will go in depth on that. So the operations, so as you can see here, you have 3 operations, pretty much the code to inscribe, right? You can, I guess, they use the word inscribe pretty much. How should I say this? How should I put it? But the word inscribe is kind of like you are pretty much doing it yourself, right? Fully decentralized, meaning that you are voluntarily uh, putting out your energy to create something in a way. Again, it goes back to the first principle of decentralizations, right? So you have to be the one that participate in it. But anyway, so through the inscription, you have the deploy, right? Deploy is mainly used for like developers, right? So let's say it's kind of like you deploying the contract on Ethereum, right? You can also deploy a BRC-20 by using this code here. Now, when it first started out, you have to manually deploy, if you want to launch a token, you have to manually deploy this code accordingly, right? And I will go in on a couple ways how to do it manually, as well as there are ways now, the website third party that you can actually, is made more efficient. You can go through a third party and do it as well, and more efficient. So the second one, you have mint here. Okay, mint. Now you guys may have heard of what the word mint is. Pretty much to mint a token, right? So the same thing as over in Ethereum. So that's pretty straightforward. But if you look at the code here, they all have different. They are different, right? So when you guys do this, it's very important that you guys double check. And we go in depth on what these numbers are and how important it is to make sure that when you guys do this, you got to make sure that the right numbers are get inputted correctly, or you will lose your Bitcoin or it will not come through to your wallet. Then you have to transfer. So this is the code for transfer. So it's kind of like transferring from one wallet to the other, or you want to transfer to the marketplace so you can sell your token or NFT or Ordinals. Okay, but I will go in depth on that as we go on. Now let's talk about BRC-20 marketplaces and indexers, right? Marketplaces right now, I mean, you have one popping out left and right everywhere. I think currently we are probably around 6 to 7 different marketplaces now, maybe a little bit more. So, everyone's flocking to BRC-20, want to be the first mover on it. Competition is good, right? And it just kind of like everything started with Ethereum as well. So it's a good thing for BTC. Indexer, I think is actually very important. I feel like right now we do not have one that is fully reliable yet. We have so many indexers. You can look at indexers kind of like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, right? It gathers all the data and it gives you all the data, all the important data that you need in order for you to mint tokens, right? Because without the indexer working properly, you may try to mint something and it could be completely out and you will not know, right? And you will end up losing your Bitcoin. And we will elaborate on that and what are the ways that you can do to prevent that as well. So right now, I think indexer is probably the most crucial thing right now as far as the next advancement, I would say. But I believe that we have a lot of people working on that. So that we have a lot of different indexer, but I feel like we need like an indexer on top of for all the indexers. So that way we can know that, okay, which indexer is actually lagging behind as far as giving you the correct information, right? So right now, we are at that stage right now. We just don't know. We just don't know whether the information is correct or not at times. I will elaborate on that more as I'm showing you guys the websites here later on. Okay, so now we have where can you buy, sell, and deploy and mint new BRC-20 projects, right? Again, guys, the ordinals or NFTs, right? BRC-20 is pretty much, you can look at it as like token for the Bitcoin blockchain, right? For the first time, we're going to actually have tokens on the Bitcoin blockchain, which is amazing. Now you have a lot of Bitcoin maxis that may say, this is bullshit, whatever. It's very controversial, right? Because the Bitcoin blockchain right now is not designed. Uh, we're at the early stage of it. So what is happening is that because now there are more activities onto the block, right? You get the mempool being backed up because there's more activity to the more transactions, etc., to the blockchain. So what it's doing right now is that it's causing the transaction fees to go really high. So instead of paying, I don't know, maybe $3, $5 now, you're paying a lot more for transactions. Now, because of that, I think it's actually good for the Bitcoin blockchain because it forces the Bitcoin developers to innovate, right? But at the same time, when you think about it, it's actually great for the miners as well because miners pretty much run the Bitcoin blockchain, right? They get paid for mining to help your transactions go through. So now the miners are getting rich off that because now we're literally people are fighting over gas, right? So you guys understand the basic of how the blocks work, right? If I'm willing to pay more money for my transactions, and I will get it, my transactions will go through. So this is where we're at right now. Transactions fees are high, but I think it's actually good because it forces innovation. But I will go more in depth on that by what it means by that in a bit here. All right, so where can you buy and sell, deploy, and mint new BRC projects? This is actually very important right now. When this launched around a few months back, there were a couple coins on BRC-20. One of them is Ordi, Pepe, meme coin. Those are the tickers for those. Ordis did probably like around 800x to 1000x. So imagine if you were the first ones to mint those tokens, you'll be sitting very, very pretty right now, 800x, 200 to 800x. But you guys are still early. So if you guys are in this class right now, listening right now, you're very early, very fortunate to be listening to this class right now. And just to help you capitalize on the opportunities out there. It's like the beginning stage again. Okay, so these places are some of the popular ones at the moment. Things are rapidly moving and growing, so these players may not be relevant tomorrow, right? Just like everything else out there, when you have a sector that's new, you have a lot of things moving, right? A lot of things coming onto the space. A lot of developers are coming through trying to take advantage of the opportunity. So it's very hard as investors to try to make that assessment which ones are going to be the ones that can last, right? So that's the risk of it. But I will show you some of the website here that I have used before and very popular. And at the moment, I would say they're pretty good for what it is at the moment. But again, tomorrow, next week, it could be something better, right? So things are moving very fastly. So just remember that just because what you learn today in this class doesn't mean that it will be the best thing forever. So just kind of keep that in mind. So the first place that I'm going to show you is this gamma.io. Okay, so this is where I have used. Now there may be other places that you can actually manually inscribe the code, right? The code up here. Let me show you guys the code again. So deploy, mint, and transfer. Okay. So before I do that, I want to show you guys the marketplace, one of the marketplaces out there, and how you can get that information on the marketplace and able to mint the token. So I want to show you how to do it manually first. Then after that, I'm going to show you a couple ways that you can do it automatically. So I think that's actually good to know, especially if for whatever reason, when you're trying to mint a token where the mempool gets backed up and sometimes the website cannot handle the traffic, the website can go down. So there are ways for you to do it manually, and I'm going to show you guys that right now. So the first place, and this is actually one of the very first marketplaces that open up, which is the BRC-20.io. So if you look at the website here, right, and if you guys are familiar with CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, kind of similar, right? But it's not as advanced, right? Again, still very new. Of course, improvement will be made, just like everything else, right? So if you look at this here, on top here, Ordi is actually one of the very first project to ever launch a BRC-20. So the ticker is right here, ORDI, right? Current price $15 right now. It gives you this, the basic information, just like CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, etc. 2.19% the market cap right now. So as you can see, Ordi is sitting at 322 million market cap. Now, I don't know the exact price when it first came out, but I believe this is already doing like around 800x on it. Okay, so volume today, as you can see, 197 million. So as you can see, I mean, based off the volume, it's a lot of interest, right? In Ordi, right? So I look at Ordi as kind of like Bitcoin, right? The first token on Bitcoin. So I think that's the reason why there's a big demand for it. I did throw some money on it. I came in a bit late. I was able to mint a bunch of other tokens early on, but Ordi, it went out so quick. I didn't have a chance to really mint it really. Here, the total supply, 21 million. Now, we know that Bitcoin is 21 million, so that's probably where they get that from. But if you're a developer right now and you're listening to this, it's actually, and I will go in depth on how you guys able, even you're a non-developer. So if you guys have thought about launching your own project, BRC-20, it has no contract, right? So it's made it very easy for you guys to launch a project, and it's fully decentralized. And we will break down why it's fully decentralized and why I actually think it's actually the way to go. Over here, minted 100%. Okay, and limit per mint. So the two numbers are very important when you mint the token, right? The ticker, whatever you want to call that, right? Usually, now we're looking at Binance Smart Chain, for example, Ethereum, right? We have Uniswap, we have Binance Swap, right? You go in there, you connect your wallet, you just buy off that, right? Because it's evolved, right? It's, we have developers made it easy for you to buy things. But now, BRC-20, we're not there yet. So you have to do it manually, pretty much. So the two numbers that you want to really look for is limit per mint. Here, every tokens will tell you exactly what the limit per mint is, meaning that when you mint the token, you cannot exceed 1,000, right? Again, you cannot exceed. You can go under it, but you cannot exceed. If you try to mint 1,001, your transaction will go through, but you will lose the Bitcoin and you will not receive the tokens. So remember that you have to follow the mint limit, right? So the numbers that you want to look, the information that you want to look for is the mint limit and the ticker symbol, right? And you have to input it exactly the way it is. Okay. So here, as you can see, mint percent. This minted. This is what is left, pretty much of the progress of the mint, right? So here, as you can see, it's 100%. So that means that you can no longer mint Ordi as a token. Now you can go into the market here and buy it on the open market, but you can no longer mint the token. So let's go down. Let's find one that is not at 100% yet, and I will walk you guys through the process how to mint it, okay? So as you can see, if you look through here, I mean, people have been minting a lot out of BRC-20 tokens, 100%, 100%, 100%. So let's go down and find one that's not 100% here. Okay, let's pick this one. KISS, right? The symbol is number 76. Total supply 21 million. It's at 3.51%. There has been 1,337 transactions. Okay, so now if I click, let's click on the KISS here. Okay, so there's not much information on it. So let's go back. Let's see here. Can you guys still see my screen okay there?
Yep, absolutely. I see Destiny with the unmuted mic. Did you have a quick question there, Destiny? Okay, I think you left now. Okay.
Yeah, guys. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and feel free to ask questions. Okay, I want to make sure that you guys understand how to mint a token. At least you have some basic knowledge. So right now I'm actually showing you guys how to manually mint token, okay, or inscribe things, okay. And I will show you there's another website that is set up so that way you guys can do it automatically, which is more efficient and more convenient. So for example, right, so the information that I told you guys that you guys need to know before you mint is the limit, right? So here, let's go up here, right? The very last line here says limit per mint. Very important information, okay? So do not forget that. So let's go back to, was it 76? Yep, 76 KISS. Okay, so here you have the symbol is KISS. Here you have 1,337. Okay, now if you click on here, inscribe, I have not used this yet. It's still beta. But here, if you click on mint, deploy, transfer, right? Mint meaning you want to mint the token. Deploy, this is for develop. You want to deploy the contract. So what that means is that let's say develop want come in here and they want to launch a token. They can hit on deploy and to deploy a token that they want to deploy. Now, because we want to mint a token, we're going to hit mint on top here. Okay, it's still beta right now, so I'm not sure why it's not working. But again, I have not used this yet. I think this is a new right here. I have not used this. So what I have been using is, if I have to do manually, I've been using this site called gamma.io. So that's GAMMA.io. Let me click back to see, make sure that my screen is still good.
Just to say something there real quick too, if you switch back to your other screen there, when you went to go click on the mint, it did. What it does is it gives it parentheses around the edges. So that's how you guys will know if you're clicked on either mint, deploy, or the other one there. It will show that it has been parentheses.
Perfect, Mike. That's a good point. Again, I have not used that yet. I think that's new. Maybe I'm going to miss it, but this is where I have been using. So if you guys go to gamma.io here, and on the right-hand side here, you hit create. Okay, so now I don't have my wallet set up yet for this, for this class. But you hit create, right? So when you hit create here, and you want to go to create inscriptions, okay? Again, create inscriptions. You click on that, and you want to go to text, okay? Now this is where you paste that code, right? Now let's go back to here, right? So now this is where this code's very important, guys. Okay, so we will have this slide somewhere, and we will also put the original paper from the inventor of BRC-20. But even if you guys copy it, make sure that you guys double check, make sure everything is 100% correct before you guys send it through, right? So what I like to do is I would like just to go, copy it. Copy. You go back to the website, right? And you will paste it on here. Bam, right? Now the two things that remember I told you guys the numbers are very important, the limit, right? So the amount here, right? We want to change that because over here, remember, let's go back to the market here. That was 76, right?
Yep, 76. 1337 max on that per mint.
1337, right, Mike?
Yep.
Okay, so now 1337. So we want to make sure that we delete that $1,000. I mean that 1,000 right there. Okay, guys. So what we want to do is 1337, right? And we also want to change the ticker name, right? So that was KISS, right? KISS. So we want to change exactly how it shows on the on the page, right? Bam, just like that. right? You want to double check everything. Make sure you double check everything, okay? So once you do that, you hit continue, right? So this here gives you a gas fee, right? You have the economy, normal fee, higher fee, custom fee. I always like to put it at least higher fee, right? Give the miner some tips, but also it ensure that your transactions go through. Because if your transaction just kind of like over in your Ethereum, if you use Binance or whatever, Uniswap or Binance Swap, it's the same thing. If your transactions doesn't come through, you'll lose the gas. I want to make sure that my transaction will come through. Especially if I'm trying to mint a coin that's popular, I may go custom fee and crank it up, right? Make sure that my transaction go through, because now you're talking about you have to fight with other minters as well. So if I find a coin that's valuable, I want to make sure that I'm going to spend the gas to make sure I get the coins, right? So yeah, you click on just for example, continue. Here, it tells you to put in your Bitcoin address. Okay, so your Bitcoin address, I guess we will go through the wallets as well, but you want to set up a Bitcoin address. You want to put your Bitcoin address in here. Also here to refund. Your email is not necessary, so you don't have to put your email here. Okay, and after that, just hit continue, and then after that, it will show you the address where you can send the money to. Okay, now I don't have my wallet set up for this training class, but once you hit continue, it will tell you, there's another window that will tell you send this amount to the address. So what you would do is you will copy the address, go back to let me see if I'm not logged in here, but you will go to your Bitcoin address and send it to the address of the amount it shows, and that's it. So is that pretty clear there, guys? Mike?
Very straightforward on being able to mint tokens.
Yeah. So one thing that I want to point out, guys, the top address here, right? This is where you will receive your ordinal or your BRC-20 token. It is very important that you have a Bitcoin address that's able to receive the ordinal or the BRC-20 token. We will go through that later on the wallet section, how to set it up. But it's not your regular Bitcoin address, okay? It has to have the capability to receive ordinals or BRC-20 token. So when you set up the wallet, you have to select Taproot, okay? So very important. Again, Taproot is that's what you want to set up as when you set up that address, okay? It's not your regular Bitcoin address that you have on exchange, or you have it on your hardware ledger, etc. It's not that, okay? It has to be set up with Taproot setting. Remember that, okay? So this is where you'll put it because it has the capability to receive ordinals or BRC-20 token. Very important. Pretty clear on that?
Very clear, brother.
All right. All right, sounds good. Now let's go back here. I'm gonna bring my window up really quick. Okay, there you go. So yeah, guys, so the same thing goes, right? And I just show you guys how to do it manually, okay? Deploy, the same thing. Now, deploy is when, let's say a developer wants to deploy a token. As far as the number here goes, the supply goes, that's up to you what you want to do, right? And limit, that's also up to you. It's pretty much, if you are a deployer and you are launching a project, it's pretty much, the number is pretty much saying how many tokens can one person mint, are you allowing one person to mint at the same time, at a time? Up to, pretty much, right, the limit. So that's the number that if you are launching a project, that's up to you to decide, right? Of course, you have to, know the basic tokenomics, because if you were to launch 21 million and you allow, let's say 10 million as the limits, what it does is that it would just give, 2 people to mint that only, and so that's not good, right? So you only giving the supply to 2 people only if they mint it to the limit, right? So you have to understand the basic tokenomics as well, right? Transfer, pretty much to transfer out, okay? And once I get to that Unisat wallet, I'll be able to go more in depth with you guys on that, because Unisat, they came up with a website that's more convenient, and it can be done automatically. But I just want to show you guys how to do it manually if you have to. I've done it manually a few times because some of the website just crashed, and so you're unable to mint on their website. So you have to do it manually to make sure that you get the tokens. All right, so these are the operations code here that you guys probably want to have somewhere. We will post this code as well in the room afterward. Again, double check everything, okay? Okay, so another, we talk about BRC-20 IO. Okay, that's pretty much what this is. This is one of the earliest marketplaces that came out. If you go through here, you have market. Come back soon. Yeah, so this tells me that I thought it was working at one point. So this tells me that the traffic has been, the demand for BRC-20 and Ordinals has been amazing. It's just huge interest. And so what's happening is that this website did not expect the traffic is coming through their website. So periodically you will see websites just shut down, right, because of the traffic, which is a good thing, right? So that shows that there's a lot of interest in BRC-20. But you guys will see that there can be a lot of marketplaces that's going to popping out, right? Trying to get a piece of the BRC-20. And most of the marketplaces like this, you will see the basic stuff, right? The marketplace, a place where you can buy, sell, trade NFTs, a place where you can mint BRC-20 token, buy, sell, and trade those as well, right? But as we're speaking right now, there are a couple of decks that just came out literally yesterday, and I will touch on that towards the end of the presentation here. So man, the space is evolving quickly, and it should be, right? So what that means is that you guys have to be in tune of what's going on in order for you guys to take advantage of this opportunity. I think this is an amazing opportunity. All right, so let's go back. Okay, so the next place I want to talk about is Unisat. Now, this guy is actually, I would say, the most popular and useful at the moment. Currently, I use them a lot. Now, the problem is that there's congestion, right? So when there's a lot of people coming to the website, the site goes down. There's too much traffic. It's convenient to mint and deploy with a few clicks, and we will go over through that. You're able to create a wallet as well within the website. Just like everything else, when you guys create a wallet, I do not think that there's actually a hardware wallet yet. So it kind of reminds me of early days where wallets are pretty much online only, and within their protocol or the website. So you have to really keep your seed phrase safe. So very important that before you create a wallet, you want to write down your seed phrase and put it in a very safe place before you transfer the money over, right? Very important. Send BTC to it. Okay, easy to use marketplace. Now, the marketplace, I will be clicking the website here very soon here. Just going to go over a few points really quick. Now, Unisat marketplace, you have to have actually a certain amount of points in order to access the marketplace. All right, so let's go into the website and kind of see what it looks like. Bam. All right. So here, unisat.io. Okay. I don't think I'm actually logged in. Oh, as you can see, I have 0 points. I actually made this wallet for this training class here. So if you guys check this wallet, I probably have nothing on there. I created so that I can show you guys around. But here, if you go to home, what's really nice about this is that you're able to download this straight to your Chrome extension, right? How I have it on here. So I'll suggest that you guys go ahead and use this unisat.io for now. Currently, right now, I would say they're the most popular because of the convenience of it. So once you created a wallet, you have on here wallet inscribe. Inscribe is pretty much what I show you guys on the other site, right? Again, most of this website pretty much trying to do the same thing, right? Some has more features than other, and I believe right now Unisat has a little bit more features than other ones. But over here, if you go to BRC-20, the same text here, right? You click on text, you will input the code, those mint code in here, just like how I just showed you guys on the last one, right? On the other website, same concept. So whatever you guys trying to do, make sure that you grab the correct code and input it on here, and you hit next. The same process, and it will tell you guys how much is the gas and what address to send to and how much to send to in order for you guys to mint the token. Okay. Now, what's really cool about this is that if you click on here, BRC-20 on top here. Okay. Now, the question is, now you guys said, how do I know, what coins to mint and how much is left, right? What percent is left, right? Here's actually, if you click on holders over here, again, BRC-20 over here, right? On top here, you have the tickets over here. It gives you the deploy date that these projects will deploy. Progress, again, right? Same basic information the other one. But what's nice about this website is that if you go, it tells you, you can click on it and it breaks down to like, it tells you, how many holders each tokens have. So based on this information, you kind of gauge of like, okay, what project is popular, etc. Right? So if you look at it right now, SAT, there's only been 1.7% minted, but they already have 9,000 holders already. So that tells me that the supply is either very high or the number of limit is very, very low. Right? Now, if we want to click on it, it tells us right here. Ooh, look at that total supplies. I mean, right there. I mean, look at the supply. It's huge. Okay, so yeah, only 1.7, which is very impressive. It's crazy actually. 9,000 holders already. It's only 1.7%. It's been minted, which is crazy. There's been 376,000 transactions. Now you go down here, Ordi, 100% minted, and you have VMPX, which is Jack Levin. I'm not sure you guys heard of him, but he's the guy behind Zen. Yeah, very popular. This VMPX launched probably a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, around there. It went out very quickly. And a lot of people went on here and minted that, and it literally almost like it slowed down the Bitcoin chain. So it was you had to pay a lot of money just to mint these VMPX. So he does have a big follower. He does have a coin called Zen over in Ethereum. And what differentiates them is actually the first principle, right? Fully decentralization. And you guys can look more into that if you want, but it's called Zen. So this is actually their project as well. But if you look through here, but what I like to do is this. I like to go into in progress, right? So again, here, in progress. I like to in progress. I check this every day, right? And you guys should as well if you guys are into BRC-20 token, which you should be right now because it's very early on. And what I like to do is I hit progress right here, right? So this tells me the order of the percent of that has been minted on that token in order. So here you got this here at 99%. That's pretty much full to me, right? So now you got to keep in mind this, right? You got to be very careful with this. Like I kind of spoke a bit earlier on indexing, right? So when is that 99.99% or 98%, whatever, even 97%? If it's too congested, if the mempool is backed up, so meaning that you send a transactions where it's backed up because there's a lot of people trying to mint or whatever, do the same thing on the same block, you have to wait in line, right? So it gets put into the mempool, you have to sit there and wait in line, right? Just kind of like you get in line at the grocery store, whatever. But the only difference is that if you're willing to pay a higher gas fee, the miners pick you first. to mine your transactions because you're willing to pay more for your gas fee, right? So when it's at 97%, me personally, I wouldn't even touch it because I know that it could be sold out already, right? So I will put myself at a risk where I may not get the token and at the same time lose the gas fee. You guys still follow me on that? Pretty clear?
Yep, 100%. Actually, the one you have there is a perfect example of one holder holding the entire supply.
Yeah, and we will talk about this in a bit here as why is there only one supply, right? But yeah, guys, so let's say 91%, yeah, maybe you can get it through. But again, it's very important that you guys remember that, right? So if you were to mint this token here, it's at 91.33%. I think most likely it's still there. But it's like if it's like around 97, 98%, me personally, I wouldn't touch it. You know, if the coin is very popular and you really want to get it and you really want to spend a gas fee and you want to take the risk and go ahead. But I wouldn't do it because you don't know, you don't know whether it's sold out already, and you will not get your Bitcoin back. It's not one of those things where, oops, your transaction didn't go through, therefore I'm gonna return your money. It doesn't work like that in the blockchain. That's if it doesn't go through, it doesn't go through. And that's it. So for example, now Mike, let's that's a good question here, Mike. Now you say how come this coin here has 99.99% and there's only one holder and there's only 2 transactions, right? So what's happening now is that because BRC-20 is gotten so popular that you have other big projects or even not even big projects but developers coming through and they want to make sure that they get this ticker, right? This ticker here is only limited to 1 only. So that means that once the ticker is made already, is deployed, you cannot make this ticker again, right? So what I have noticed is that you have a lot of developers coming in here. They get the ticker and they mint the whole supply to themselves. What's the reason behind it? Well, they want to maybe for future plan, right? Future development, and also maybe to do an airdrop instead of having the open to everyone where everyone mints at the same time, which I believe it should be done that way, right? I think in order for it to be fully decentralized and to ensure that the token are being distributed fairly, you have to allow people to mint at the same time. Even the owners have to mint it themselves as well. I think that's the way to go. But when you see things like that, like this here, where you have 1 holders and 99% minted, so that tells me that the owner minted himself. Let's click on it and we'll see what it says here. So yeah, so it looks like, yeah, so they deployed a token and they minted themselves. And I believe that they will do like some sort of whitelist and manually airdrop to the people that they choose to airdrop to or they choose to give a whitelist to. I don't believe in that because I feel like that just goes against the principle of what Bitcoin is, decentralization, being fair. But that's what that is. So the owner will mint to 100% and decide what they want to do with those tokens. So that's what that is there. All right, now let's go back here. So we're going to pick one that, again, in progress. Okay, guys. So this is where you find popular tokens, for example. So when I look at this here, right, this here, 18 holders at 84%. I'm not crazy about it, to be honest with you. You know why? The reason why is that 84% of the supplies has been minted already, but it's only 18 holders. So that tells me that this is like BS, right? This is bullshit. Yeah, so that's not good. That's not what you're looking for. Now, this one here, 91% with 1,108 holders. That's not bad, right? That's not bad. So for example, here, I look at this here, right? This is the symbol, and the question is now, you guys be thinking, how do I know whether this project is legit or not, right? The truth is that we don't know, right? The truth is that we don't know. We don't know whether there's just kind of like projects over on BNB or whether that's on ERC. You have a lot of fucking scam projects left and right. But one of the ways that I do is that I will grab the symbol here, MAJO, right? Now pay attention. This is actually one of the very good way to, I guess, kind of do further research on and look for more information on the project, right? So I will grab that MAJO. I would go back to on Twitter, okay? And here I would type in PAL MAJO. Exactly, exactly the name, right? I'm gonna hit enter. Now, Twitter, we all know that everything happens over Twitter, right? You can hit the top post on that, or you can do the latest post on that. So here, as you can see, you got this guy's talking about the symbol, right? Now look, okay, so check this out. So I mean, this is actually, I don't know what it is, but it seems like Gate.io will be listing them. See, so as you can see, this is actually one of the great ways to further research on a project that you see maybe at the progress of like 85%, mint to 85%, with sufficient holders. So this is a great way for you to get some more information on it. So as you can see, I go down, and pretty much what I'm looking for is that what other people are talking about the token, right? You have the same one here. You can hit on the latest and see what's going on over there. Now, again, see here, this person is talking about it, BRC-20. So yeah, so you can click on that and you can look into it further. So yeah, so I do this when I see a project that maybe at 70%, has pretty good number of holders in it. Now, like this here, 10 US. What screen am I at right now, Mike?
Right now, you are on the BRC-20 inside Unisat, looking at the pool for 10 US.
Okay, perfect. All right, so the 10 US here, I mean, 61%, 3 holders. I'm not crazy about it. I mean, that's just, yeah, I mean, three people have minted 61%. So it's kind of like it's centralized, right? So you have 3 people owning the majority of the supply. It shouldn't be like that, right? So you don't want to invest or buy mint coins that that maybe the 3 owners own all the supply. So that's not good, and I don't think that's what BRC is intended to do. So yep. So again, guys, progress. Okay, in progress, you go down, and every day if you check this. And sometimes the thing is that though, if you guys are into BRC-20, and you have to check it periodically, because some coins that, if there's a coin out there that's very popular, they do not, excuse me, they do not advertise, right? They do not really advertise leading up to the deployment of the ticker, right? They literally deploy and make that announcement at the same time. And the people are actually, in the loop. They know about the token, and it could get minted out very quickly within hours, maybe in a day, 6 hours. I've seen that happen before. Of course, if that's the case, there'll be gas war, right? But you want to check this periodically, so that way you don't miss the opportunity to get into a good project, right? Very important. So for example, I go down here. If I like to see, for example, this one major, let's click on this. And what's nice about this Unisat is that when you click on it now, once your wallet is logged in, right? I have nothing on here, but you can hit mint directly, right? So earlier I showed you guys how to mint manually, but now on this website here, you can mint it directly. So you hit on mint directly. Okay, 2 options here. Deploy is pretty much deploying the token. Okay, you don't want to hit that if you don't want to deploy a token or create a token, right? You don't want to hit that. You want to hit mint. Make sure that mint is checked. The ticker, it usually fills out everything automatically for you, but if you want to double check, just make sure you go over here. Again, remember the amount limit, guys, very important, okay? If you go above the limit amount, you will not get your token. So again, here, if you look on the right-hand side here, it says 1,000. So make sure that that number reflects over here as well, okay? Now, what's nice about over here, instead of like doing manually, is that repeat mint. So instead of you hit mint, one time, then you send the money, one time, then you have to go back mint again. So there's a function here that's actually really nice, because here, instead of doing one at a time, you can go up and let's say if you want to mint 7 times, you can go here and you can mint up to 24 times, right? Of course, when you mint 24 times, it's like minting 24 different transactions, right? So that means is that the gas also a lot higher than if you were to mint just one time, right? So here I can go whatever I want, 14. I hit next. So this actually tells you all the transactions that have been minted here. See, so you hit next, bam. It gives you an estimated gas on that. You pick one. Again, I always like to do a little bit more. So 64 sats, 67. It's not big of a difference. You look at it right now. It's actually pretty cheap right now. But to mint 24 transactions at one time, it would cost me $56. So it's not. It's pretty high actually. So $56 right now, right? I will hit submit. If my wallet is connected and if I have cash in here, which I do not on this address here, but I will hit. Oops. Let's go do it again here. Okay, I hit submit and pay invoice. You can, up here, there's an option here, pay with BTC. So you pretty much just manually sending in BTC to the wallet that they will provide to you. What I like to do is that I like to pay with the wallet that is Unisat wallet. Now I do have an actual wallet with a lot of things in there. For this class, I don't want you guys to stalk me, so I did not log in. But you, I keep on kicking me out here. Hold on, let's do it again. But bam, right? So you go here, pay, submit invoice, pay with wallet. Then it just automatically takes the money off your wallet. So again, unisat.io, you want to create a wallet. Make sure, again, when you guys create a wallet, there's a setting called Taproot. Make sure you click on that Taproot, okay? That's the only way that you guys are able to receive your BRC-20 token. Okay, it's not your regular, ordinary Bitcoin wallet. Remember that. And also, another thing that you guys must do is that keep your seed phrase, because without the seed phrase, you will lose all your money or unable to access your wallet again. Very important. All right, guys, everything clear on this, Mike? Any questions on this?
Yeah, one quick question. If you go back to the marketplace where it shows in progress, go back to that real quick.
Okay.
So for the in progress here, let's go a little bit in depth on what the green, blue, yellow, and red on a progress means.
Okay, so the green indicates pretty much the amount that's been minted. It's pretty much kind of like, hey, right here, the yellow, pretty much which is towards the end. You gotta be, actually, this is a very good indication. To me, I believe that I use it as a, hey, careful, move cautiously, because now you're getting towards the end of the mint, right, of the supply. Your transactions may not go through. So that's how I use it at. Right now, I don't know, to be honest with you, I don't know what it really indicates there, but to me, that's what that is. Now, as you can see here, it's 100% full, 100% full, right? This is 100% full, like, you cannot mint no more. I guess my answer for you would be, I have no idea what the hell that stands for.
Okay, so coming back to the in progress there, click over to or highlight over the progress of the Majo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what does that mean?
Oh, okay, there you go. Actually, you know what? I've never looked at this yet, so let's dissect this here. So confirm. Okay, so that's actually very interesting information right here. So this is actually, I talk about the memory pool, the mem pool, right, and how your transaction. I guess in a way, the way I take it is almost in the same way, right? But here it actually gives you the exact number of what is in the mem pool and what has been confirmed, etc. So it's actually very important information here. If you look at that module or whatever, however you want to pronounce that, in the memory pool right now, it has 246,000 tokens that are left, right? So I guess you can make that determination whether your transaction will go through. Now that goes back to what I said earlier. When it gets to like around like 90 something, 95%, you have to be mindful that there are still tokens in the mempool, and that's what is shown right there. So I never really looked at that, but that's actually really very important information. Now the question is also when I talked about earlier about the indexing, right? Like how reliable the indexing of this website is, right? I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know, right? So that's why I said that indexing is actually very important right now. That's an aspect that I think we still need to figure it out. Ensure that if we're able to get everything live 100%, then that's great. But I don't think it is right now, because let's put it to a test right now. So let's go look at it right now. Let me see here. Let's go back to BRC-20, right? Let's go back to BRC-20. Let's go, actually, hold on. Let's put this to a test and see if both of the websites are the same. And I do not believe that's actually the same, because we it's not advanced yet, where depending on what site you're looking at, the data is not 100% correct. Now that's an issue that we're facing right now. So let's just, for example, let's just see here. Let's just test it out really quick. Marketplace. Okay, so we're gonna look at Ordinals. Okay, so the marketplace is pretty much where you're able to buy and sell your BRC-20, right? So I'm just gonna click on this right now. Now Ordinals right now, it gives me $13.47. $13.47 per Ordinal on Unisat. Okay, now let's go back to BRC-20 and we're gonna see what's the price on that over there. $15.34. So as you can see, there's a big discrepancy on that, right? Now I don't know. I don't know whether I don't know whether you can actually, I guess in the regular world we can call that arbitraging, right? You can take the opportunity to go buy over there, resell over there. I have not done that. But also that tells me that, again, the indexing and all this stuff is not, right, it's not in tune with everything yet. So you guys got to remember that, that's important to know, right? And I'm pretty sure the mint supply of those tokens, I'm pretty sure it's different as well, right? So as you can see, I mean, there's a big difference on the two websites. So I think that's very good.
Yep. This is also why we also say what's relevant today might not be relevant tomorrow, because the space is moving so fast.
Exactly, Mike. Very important, guys. Very important. Again, this is, when you are early into something, right, there's a high rewards that you can gain from it. But on the opposite side of that is that there are also more risks involved, right? So you just have to understand that. Okay, so I think that's pretty much straightforward there, right? Okay, let's just kind of recap really quick here. Okay, so if you go to all, this tells you all the token. Okay, the holders account amount. I think this is actually very important. This is the data that's actually very important as well. Ordi has 9,000 holders, meme coin 4,000, Punk. Whatever. I'm surprised that VNPX is not on here yet. Again, right now it's like, again, indexing is a little behind. So in progress, right? This is where I look at it every single day just to see what's out there, right? Because if you go 3 days without looking at this, you could be missing a few potential, I don't know, 200x coins, I don't know, but you want to check on this. And again, I show you guys how to research over Twitter as well. You get the symbol, you go back to Twitter, you plug it in, you hit top latest, and you can always do further research on that if there's any information on there.
A question. So, go ahead, Jeremy. Did you have a question?
Yeah, Ken, another question for you. When researching, is Twitter the only place you use, or is there any way to find more background on some of these projects? Because sometimes you can go to Twitter and it can just be a bunch of BS where people are just, pushing something falsely.
Yeah, and that's where the hardship lies, is that currently right now, because the space is so new, for example, right, you have that Jack Levin guy, right? he launched a project called VMPX. Let me hit the progress on here really quick. Probably able to see. Let me see here. If it's, see, his token's not even on here, which is really funny. But anyway, he launched the project because the project is so. I mean, the space is so new that sometime most of the tokens on here, they don't have a website yet, right? They don't even have the website on here yet. Everybody's flocking over here to make sure that they get the token, they get the ticker, because this ticker here, you only have one chance to do it. And through BRC-20, you can only create four character only, right? So if let's say USA Crypto Group, right? Most likely it's taken already. I believe it did. I think I did check on it. So a lot of the projects out there, they're literally flocking over here, making sure that they get the ticker. And so oftentimes you see people just deploy the token, and they have not even started the development yet, right? So sometimes you look at the data, the deploy date, sometimes you're like, oh man, this token is deployed freaking 3 months ago. And all of a sudden it just takes off like freaking like 2 days ago, right? So because of the space is very new, sometimes you don't have all the information that usually you would get on the regular, top 10, top 5 coins or whatever in the regular, ETH chain. But Jeremy, if you search on Twitter, if the project is legit, most likely you are able to trace to the source or the person who deployed the coin, and usually there'll always be a link to the website or the Telegram. Now, I've noticed that on popular coins or projects that actually have real intentions to build projects, to build out those projects, most likely to have that information. Now, yeah, sometimes it's hard to find, but again, there's a lot of coins out there that there's nothing out there. So sometimes right now it's all speculating, right? So what I do is sometimes, which I shouldn't be doing, is that I also buy into the tokens that with amazing symbols, right? With like news. I mean, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating right now, right? I'm just speculating that news, maybe it could be owned by some big news place. I don't know, right? We don't know right now. Currently, right now, we don't know. But if you can find a project with a website and all this information, then I think it's great. But a lot of speculation right now. So yeah. Any other questions on that, guys?
I do see Destiny unmuted there. Did you have a question there, Destiny?
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Josh. We can hear you, Josh.
Hear me? Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Josh.
Yeah, I was going to say VMPX, the project that you just mentioned, seems to be under completed. So where it's all in progress or completed, VMPX seems to be just searched under there. It seems to be under, if we go to the left and search under, there you go.
Yeah. Perfect there, Josh. I appreciate it. Actually, you know what? I was actually one of the people that helped crash Bitcoin blockchain minting this token. I mean, it was a gas war. If you guys are familiar with Jack, he launched Zen, which is to participate, you have to mint the token, right? So that way it's fair launch, but then they build an ecosystem. So when you mint a token out in the open, that means that there's no limit of supply, right? It could be a billion, a trillion, right? It just depends on how much interest it has, right? And how many people minting it. But they build an ecosystem around it to burn the Zen token. But anyway, he has a big following. So when he launched this here, literally almost every single thing that he does, whatever they go on any kind of chain, whether it's Binance, whether, we saw Pulse. If you guys are familiar with Pulse chain, I think the Zen people crashed the Pulse chain, to be honest with you. So yeah, he's very popular. But yeah, right out the gate, I think this VMPX here, it lasted for maybe like 7 hours, 8 hours around there, maybe less. I don't know, maybe less. And a lot of transactions couldn't go through it because everybody was fighting for this token, and a lot of transactions didn't even go through because a lot of people didn't want to pay for the higher gas fee, right? So just keep that in mind. If you see a token that you really want it, make sure that you guys spend the necessary gas, if you can afford it, to send it through. Because if it doesn't come through, I mean, if the transaction gets canceled, you will not get the gas back. Just keep that in mind. So yeah, VMPX, I still don't know what the hell it stands for, but I know that he's into the vampire stuff. So maybe Vampire X, I don't know. But yeah, so it has 9,000. Actually, at one point, it actually has the most holders, even above Ordi. Now, Ordi looks like it's taking the #1 spot again at 9,291, barely over VMPX. But Ordi is the original token. So, in fact, let's check it. Let's check Ordi right now, see where we at right now. So you guys go to marketplace, okay? You can see at the marketplace, you can see what Ordi is selling for at the current moment, right? $13.47. So this is the number here. You will get 225 Ordi for $3,031 here. And you will click on buy. Let's say if I click on buy, which I don't think I have the options right now. Again, the reason why I don't have this options right now is Unisat, you have to have a certain number of points to access this marketplace here. Okay, so how do you accumulate those points? You pretty much have to mint those tokens, and you will acquire points. Once you acquire enough points, the marketplace will open up, and you're able to buy, trade, and all that, and even list your token on here as well. So it's really cool. But again, as you can see, this is like, if you look at this now, it's almost like a dinosaur age, right? Like you click on it. I mean, it's I'm very confident that within 2 to 3 weeks here, that you will have somebody out there that will build something that's a lot more convenient, I guess. Like a Dex. Actually, in fact, we were talking about the Alex Dex just came out here, but that's how you buy and sell right now, okay? And Gate.io, actually, you can actually buy on a few centralized exchanges right now, and one of them is actually Gate.io. So you go to Gate.io, you are able to buy Ordi on Gate.io, even VMPX as well, and a few other tokens as well. So as you can see, the space is moving crazy. I mean, So I think it's good. It's good for Bitcoin. All right, so that's that. So let's say you guys want to buy here. So you guys want to go trade a marketplace here, right? You look at the quantity that you want to buy, right? Here's 225, here's 200, here's 125. So you can just click on anything and you can just buy it from there. Okay. So that's that. So if you were to list something, so let's say you bought something and you have listed on the marketplace here, you click on my orders, it will tell you, what you listed. And usually, if you have things on your in your wallet, you click my inscription, it will tell you, what you're holding and how many you're holding, and there'll be like a button on the right hand side that it asks you whether you want to go ahead and list those tokens as well. So yeah, I mean, for what it is at the current moment, Unisat, I believe that they are the leaders in that right now compared to other places. Okay, so that's that. Any questions on this, guys, before we move on?
Pretty straightforward there. One of the questions that might, be in someone's mind who is unfamiliar with minting tokens altogether, maybe never minted tokens. If something is 100%, does that mean I can buy it? No, that does not mean that at all. That means now it is on open market.
Correct.
And tradable.
Correct. Exactly. So just kind of like every single token out there, right? If you have an unlimited supply where everyone can mint anything forever, then it has no value. So in order to bring value, you have to have a limited supply, right? So the total supply, you set a total supply, the developer will set a total supply, and it will allow you to mint up to that point, right? And once that's done, then you can it gets put into the open market, right? And if other people look at it and say, you know what, I believe that Ori is gonna go up a lot more than at the current price, then you can buy it on the open market, right? Just kind of like any type of exchanges out there, right? Stock market, etc. Same concept. Yeah. So you have 100%. That means that you cannot mint that anymore. You have to buy it from the open market. So that's why it's you guys have to take this opportunity. Right now, listening to this presentation, I feel like you guys are fortunate. We are, especially in crypto, but especially in BRC-20 right now. Very early right now. Very early. So these guys who minted Ordi when it first came out, sitting around, I don't know, 800x. So think about that. And at that time, you don't have the gas war, right? Right now, you have the gas war. Right now, everybody's trying to buy on here. So they were paying a few cents for an Ordi, whatever, right? So now they're sitting at 800x. Yeah, so right now it's the place right now. But again, it's risky. Why is it risky? Because the Bitcoin developers, they could be like, you know what? This is fucked up. I mean, you guys are making the transaction so much more expensive. People have to pay, 5 times as much, right, just to get it through. Or they can look at it in the sense that, you know what, we have to innovate. This is actually great for Bitcoin. For the first time, it actually has utilities to it. I believe when it has utility, there's more demand for Bitcoin, right? So it's no longer a store of value. I have Bitcoin just been sitting there, but finally, I'm actually have to freaking use my Bitcoin to do something, right? If I want to invest in these coins, I have to spend my Bitcoin, and so it also incentivizes the miners as well. So the miners are very important, right? So right now, miners on Bitcoin are getting rich, and I think they deserve it, right? They deserve it because I think it brings more value to Bitcoin, to the Bitcoin blockchain. But I think that it's not going away. I don't think it's going away just because of the interest and the demand. Now we are at a place where it's new. I don't think the Bitcoin technology is there to meet the demand of BRC-20 and Ordinals yet because of transactions, right? But again, if you're willing to pay more gas, then it's up to you, right? That's up to you pretty much, right? If you cannot afford the gas or whatever, then it's up to you. It's pretty much an open market, pretty much. But I think it's a good thing for Bitcoin. I think it should be done correctly. And the reason why I like BRC-20 is because, let me continue why. Let me go here. So let me skip a few things really quick. Okay, so since we're on the same why I like BRC-20, I want to speak on this in depth here of why I really like it. And I think it is the fairest way to launch a token. So why developers are choosing BRC-20 and launch on BTC blockchain, right? There's no smart contract. There's no smart contract at all. There's no admin keys. It's immutable. It means it cannot be changed. Fair token distribution, fair launch with no team of advisor tokens. Right, so oftentimes we see on the traditional, on the Ethereum side, or the regular projects that launch over there, you have owner's token, you have advisor's token, you have all sort of people token out there that we don't know of, right? And so, so usually the founders or the whatever, it's they own the project, right? Over here, you don't have that. Now, earlier, Mike, you say when we saw that a certain token where it minted the total supply 100%, and there was only one holder. So that tells me that those guys intend to do an airdrop or maybe give their team the tokens first before, do an airdrop to the community, right? How do we know that those tokens are not going to themselves, all of them? When you say you do an airdrop, well, to who, right? We just don't know, right? So I think that's why. So I would not invest in those projects, to be honest with you. That's the reason why I like BRCs, because it's fair, 100% fair. There's no pre-sale, no private round, no special way of raising funds, nothing. Everyone participate fairly, and it's easy to deploy as well. Now I put on here, remember there will be cases where a team will mint the whole supply and do an airdrop or other practices which the first principle of full decentralization will no longer apply. And, that's the case with when we saw a token there over here where it minted, 100%, 99%. So I think that's what they're trying to do, right? Is pretend to do an airdrop to the community. But how do we know as investor whether they actually do an airdrop to themselves only, right? So I will not touch those projects, especially on BRC-20, because I think that kind of defeats the purpose of the Bitcoin blockchain and BRC-20. Is that fully decentralized ways of doing it. All right, so let's say here, let's go back to, so, we talked about Unisat.io, guys. Right now, I believe that's actually the most popular one right now, and I think we went in depth on that, so hopefully you guys have a good understanding of it, but play around, okay? Or space, let me see, I can pull it up really quick here. Nope, that's not it. This website is down, right? So too much traffic, right? So right now, I don't think, all these websites that popped up, I don't think they actually predict, actually they saw the demand that's gonna, they're gonna have to face or have. It's just crazy, which is a good thing, which is a really good thing. Most of their website, guys, like let's say most of the marketplaces, again, they all have pretty much similar features, right? You have the marketplace where you buy, sell, and trade, etc. You're able to inscribe or mint, whatever you want to call that, deploy the same thing. But Unisat, again, I would say this is the most, currently right now, this is the most useful place to go to. But what happened is that because your wallet here is actually on the website itself, right? So when the website goes down, guess what? You cannot access your wallets as well. So that's the reason why earlier on I show you guys how to mint manually, right? So that comes in handy when the website goes down, when there's too much traffic, you cannot load up the website. All right, so let's go into how to set up wallets. Unisat wallet, I'll use that a lot. Okay, I think we kind of, you just add it to your Chrome extension. Make sure that you guys write out your password, your seed phrase, very important. Okay, and one thing, guys, because everything is literally on the website itself, right? I would not hold 1 BTC. Don't do that. Okay, keep that on your hardware wallet, and just send over what you need only. So you create your wallet. It will give you a seed phrase. You save that, and write it down, put it in a safe spot, create a password, and send your Bitcoin to this wallet. Send only what you need only. I would not have any kind of big amount of Bitcoin sitting in this wallet at all. So do not do that. Again, one thing that when you guys set this up, there'll be an option that says tap root. Make sure that you click on tap root. Okay, that's the only way that you can receive those Ordinals or the BRC-20. I hear somebody. Any questions on that?
Nope. I think that was Destiny. Must be an accident on his end, but that was it.
All right, sounds good. Now, again, Wallet Hero. A lot of these wallets pretty much do the same thing, right? You set it up, they give you a seed phrase, write it down, send Bitcoin over, set it to Taproot, so that way you can receive your Ordinals or NFT or the BRC-20 token. I will show you guys some of the wallet that I have. I use Unisat, and I also use this wallet here. It's called Hero Wallet, and this is the website here. So this is actually really nice. If you guys are not familiar with Stack, make sure you look into it. But here on this wallet, you can wallet.hero.so. Okay, you can download it on here, and it gives you you can add it to your Google extension. But this is really nice because if you check here, you have the Bitcoin wallet stacks. You know, if you're not familiar with that, look into it. Ordinal inscriptions, right? Ordinal inscriptions wallet, and also the Bitcoin stamped. Now, this is another new thing. Maybe I need to do a class on this for you guys here. But stamps are actually a new thing that's actually very hot, very hot. So yeah, so they're actually on top of it. You can actually hold your Bitcoin stamps. Maybe we'll do a class on this as well, on what stamps are and you know, what to look for and how to, you know, take advantage of this opportunity right now. But I use, you know, those are the two wallets that I use, which is the Hero and the Unisat currently at the moment. Okay. Okay, so the next one is some of the ways to find new and upcoming BRC-20 projects. Okay, and a great way again is you go up here. Okay, you type in hashtag BRC20. Bam. Okay, you go down. You know, you kind of see what this guy's talking about BRC20. You look for if there's any, you know, OGs, whatever, $ OGs, whatever, you know. And if you want to verify that, you can go back to Unisat here. You type in here $ OG and see what pops up. Maybe that's the ticker. I don't know. There you go. Bam. Progress, nothing yet, right? So, right. So that's a good way to see what's new out there, right? Wolf, WOLV. Right now, you can get that WOLV and put it on top of here in a search, and so you can see how many people are talking about it. That's a good way to see whether the coin is actually popular or not, right? Then after that, you can go back here, WOLV. WOLV, bam. Is that correct? Let's see here. Yes, looks like it's not WOLV. It's not even on here yet. So interesting. Yeah, so if you go over here, again, if you go over here on BRC20, you may be able to find it. But yeah, so that's a good way to search for a new product, you know. Then you kind of gauge how many people are talking about it. Maybe sometimes, you know, it gives you a website. Maybe you can actually locate the founder, the Twitter, etc. So I use Twitter a lot to look for those projects and to be, you know, one of the early people who mint, you know, one of those hot projects and capitalize on that. Yep. So that's pretty much, you know, pretty much right now, that's like the only way, right? Well, not the only way, but, you know, so if you guys are into BRC20, there are many communities on there, Twitter Spaces. You want to follow those people. You want to follow those big players in the BRC space right now, and just kind of, you know, be in tune with what's going on, because you never know, right? You never know. Right now, it's so early that you never know if you, you know, able to mint a good project right now. I mean, that can change your life pretty much. So imagine if you buy Ethereum, whatever, you know, top 2 on Ethereum chain. Think about that, right? So I feel like right now that's where we're at right now. All right. So BRC20 current state in the future. Okay, its successes and limitations, right? We talk about why developers are choosing BRC20 and to launch on BTC blockchain. I think it's actually, I love the BRC20 chain and how the projects are being launched, right? Very fair. No admin keys, nothing. No pre-sale tokens again. So I think it's actually, I like that a lot. Why Degens and investors are flocking to BRC20 on Bitcoin chain, right? It's new. Second chance to invest in some early projects like on ETH, right? Huge rewards right now if you find the right projects. And one of the biggest ways is that Bitcoin started it all, right? Bitcoin is what started Ethereum, started BNB and other chains, right? Now it has an actual use case behind it. So I think it's actually good for Bitcoin. Up to 200x have been made. You have already meme coin and PEP, fair token distribution, a lot safer. So that's a lot safer, 100% for sure. Huge interest on BRC-20. Adoption is moving rapidly. Big players are now getting into BRC-20. Again, you have big players right now. Actually, yeah, they're moving very fast. Big centralized exchanges are listing BRC-20 tokens already, like Gate.io, and I believe a few other ones as well. Now, let's talk about the pros and the cons of BRC-20 at the current state. It brings utility to BTC. Incentivizes miners and rewards them better, right? Which is good, right? We need miners to be on BTC, right? Miners pretty much, they send your transactions through. You pay them this transactions fee, right? So right now they're getting paid so much money. It's fair, easy to deploy. Huge interest and demand, exciting, forces BTC to innovate, right? So for the first time, I think developers kind of like they have to innovate now, right? They have to really innovate because I think we have utilities over BTC, but it's not there yet, right? So you have to innovate, which is a good thing. High rewards for being early, right? So if you're early adopters or being early into BRC-20, of course you get the high rewards, right? Now let's talk about the cons. Very new. It's all speculation right now, right? So you would just have to be mindful of that everything is so new right now that if Bitcoin developers say, you know what, this is bullshit, let's shut it down, then I think your tokens become worthless, which I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen at all. Right? It clock up the mempool and slows down BTC chain, right? So so what happened was that when they upgraded the Taproot, so it allows one block to go up to 4 megabyte, right? So and that's how this whole innovation started, right? And so right now, one person can be able to take the whole block if you want, right? So just a matter of how much I'm willing to pay for that block of the transaction fee, right? So because of that, if there's so many traffic coming through, you have to fight for the gas fee. If I want that more than you, I'm willing to pay more than you. Then just that would go through, but you have other ones that's going to be sitting in the mempool. It will clocked up. So when the mempool is clocked up, then you're going to have to pay more transactions fee. That's just just no way around that. It's risky. It's still an infancy stage right now. No one knows how it will play out. Hard to navigate. Again, as you can see, right? What I have shown you guys today, man, you have to be really in tune with what's going on, and it's very hard to navigate around. It just kind of reminds me of the early days of Bitcoin and Ethereum. I remember there was actually one DEX. I can't remember right now, but yeah, it's the same concept. You go on there, you create your seed phrase, and you hit the arrow down button, a bunch of lists of tokens, and you're able to buy and trade. I cannot remember that now, but I was there. It reminds me of the same, almost like how it was back then. Still very early. There's just not enough toolings right now yet. And again, I think the indexing is the biggest thing right now that we need to figure that out, because so that way we can actually show real data as it's happening, and that's important. All right, guys. So the conclusion: nothing in this presentation is intended as a financial advice. As financial advice is strictly for informational purposes only. Make sure you do your own research. BRC-20 is very new on the early development stage, which the information in this presentation may not be relevant tomorrow. Now keep that in mind. Okay, we're moving so fast. Whatever you guys seen on here today, it may not be relevant tomorrow, or they can innovate and become a lot more better product tomorrow as well with the same thing that you guys, with the same places or same website that you guys saw today, right? I believe that BRC-20 is here to stay due to the interest and the growth within a couple of months of existence. If you ask me, I think that it's not going away anywhere. I think it's actually because Bitcoin, there's a lot of money in Bitcoin when you think about it, right? You have a lot of money in Bitcoin, and it just has been sitting there, just literally been just store of value pretty much, right? Now, for the first time, you can actually utilize your Bitcoin, right, to transact on the Bitcoin chain or whatever you want to NFT or you want to launch a token or. So I think it's great for Bitcoin. I think it's actually really good for Bitcoin. So for that reason, I do not think that it's going to go away. There's no way that they will shut it down. All right, guys. Well, that is the end of the presentation. I hope you guys have learned a little bit more or learned something new. Any questions on anything?
Just to add to one of the pros there too, with the BRC-20 contracts being immutable, this means that there is no owner, there is no functionality for malicious uses. That is a big plus.
Yeah, that is big. That is big, right? And also is we are in the United States, right? And we all heard about the SEC, the regulations, and all that stuff, right? So I think if you launch a project on BRC-20, I believe that you will meet all the standards of the SEC regulation if you are from the States. Because there's been a lot of entrepreneurs or developers from the States that we cannot launch a project due to the regulations at the moment state, right? Here with the BRC-20, there's no owner tokens. There's no nothing tokens. Yeah. If I want to launch a project, I have to literally mint the token at the same time as the public is doing it, right? So very important thing to remember. Now back to what we talked about, what we saw with some projects like mint the whole supply and later supposed to do an airdrop. That just goes against what BRC stands for, I think. So I don't believe in that. But yeah, any other questions, guys?
We do have another one here in the community here from Jamal. His question is: if we are sending BTC from another wallet or a SEX listing or a SEX wallet to Unisat wallet, what chain are we to use for sending?
BTC, right? So it's BTC. So the Unisat or the one that I show you is BTC. It's BTC wallet. So yeah, so make sure you click on BTC wallet and you send it directly to the Unisat or the or this wallet here. Let me see if I can bring it up here. But yes, but it's BTC wallet right now. The difference is, again, I want to emphasize is that when you set up your wallet, Unisat wallet, you want to click on Taproot. Okay, remember that Taproot. That's the only way that you can receive your Ordinals or your BRC-20 tokens. Okay, so Taproot, you want to set it that way. There's a setting. It will prompt you a field selection, and there's a setting that says Taproot. So make sure you click on that when you set up your wallet.
One thing we could probably go into next there, Seattle, would be the Alex Labs.
Oh, yes. Thanks for the reminder there, Mike. Yes. So the funny thing is that when I wrote this slides here, I think a day ago, right before Alex Lab here just launched their DEX. And I think there's another one. So, but let's bring this up here, right? So again, as that's why I said, anything that you guys listen today, it could not be relevant tomorrow. Now with the Alex DEX here, which is really crazy because now you are able to connect your wallet, right? Connect your wallet and buy just like any regular DEX, right? So I believe that they have, let's see here, they have one. So the B20 is just their token here. Even though 24 hours it shows that it's actually down, but when they launched this, right, it was actually quite a bit. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 tokens right now. So that's how new we are in the space. There's only 5 tokens in this DEX. Now it's brand new, but yeah, there's only 5, and they are launching a few more here in either today or tomorrow. So it's really nice because you can able to just log into your wallet, transfer your money, Bitcoin. there's a bridge over here, right? So when you click on the bridge here, so actually you can actually send your money from BSC or Ethereum. So right now, a lot of you guys in our community love BSC. So if you have BNB or Ethereum, you can look at just BNB. You connect your wallet. Actually, first, before you do that, you want to make sure that you change your BNB into USDT. Okay, you can do it through that Binance swap there, right? So make sure you convert your BNB into USDT Binance, right? Once you have the USDT stablecoin, then you want to convert it to, you want to move it to Stack Chain, okay? So this wallet right here, guys, that I show you guys here, Hero Wallet, it has the Stack Chain as well. So the Stack is the chain, so make sure you guys download that, okay? Hero wallet.hero.so, and we will have the information posted later as well. But yeah, once you do that and you just hit wrap, and it will just go ahead and change the Binance USDT to their USDT, right? Then there will be a prompt that tells you guys, to finish up the transaction, and that's pretty much it. So that's how the bridge works. You're pretty much bridging one chain to the other chain for you, in order for you to participate in the buying and selling on the DEX. Pretty clear on that?
Yeah, one question would probably be for the Alex swap here. I know it's so new and it probably will not be able to be answered, but do we know the speed of this swap yet? Is it like 10 minutes, immediate, or an hour from now?
Yeah, to be honest with you, Mike, I have no idea. This is brand new, just like everything that's new, right? I think there'll be some issues that I'm pretty sure they test this stuff out. But I think that's the reason why they are listing like, 1 or 2 or 3 coins at a time, right? So I don't know yet. It's just brand new, literally brand new. And I believe there's another one that just came out. So as you can see, man, this sector, the BRC sector, is just evolve so fast. So which is amazing to see, and it should be like that. But with that said, though, right now, how do we know that this Alex is going to last forever, right? Just like everything else, even when Binance Chain started, Ethereum started, whatever, you have so many DEXs that came out. But over time, time will tell which ones will last, pretty much, right? So we'll see. Cool. Is there any other questions in the room, Mike?
The only other one that I am seeing, brother, is from Jamal asking if this PDF will be available in PDF form besides the recording.
Yes.
Here.
Yes. So we will, Mike. If you can go ahead and put the Telegram link to the BRC-20 room. Yeah, we will have it in our room, in the BRC-20 room, and also this recording will be on YouTube as well, so you can go ahead and rewatch the video and follow the text at the same time, or revisit at the same time if you want.
Perfect. I do see Destiny for the 5th time unmuting yourself. Do you have a question, Destiny? Okay. Okay. Awesome.
Well, again, guys, right now, consider yourself as lucky right now. If you are in this class right now, listening to this presentation, right? Do not sleep on this. I guess in the crypto space, it's called do not fade on this, right? But make sure you guys follow up, right? Download Unisat at least, get the wallet, test it out. Send a bit of BNB over, test it out, because I think this is actually a lifetime opportunity here. And us, USA Crypto Group, we like to be in the forefront of everything. We told you guys to mint Zen early on. We'll see how Post-Chain came out, but we did an AMA with Post-Chain, Post-X. We raised our awareness to you guys as well on the sacrifice stage. But yeah, we like to stay on top of it, and rightfully so. So, whenever we know something, we whenever we see something that's important and we think that you guys should know, we like to tell you guys about it. And that's the reason why we do the class like this. And I think we should have more classes like this. The next one maybe the stamps. I want to talk to you about the stamps as well. That's a new thing, brand new. I think that's going to be big as well. But I think everything on the Bitcoin chain is going to be very popular. The reason is because Bitcoin started everything, right? Bitcoin started everything. If there wasn't any Bitcoin, there would not be any other Ethereum or Binance, right? And the reason why even Ethereum to me and Binance other chain exists is because they couldn't do anything on the Bitcoin chain, right? So it forces innovations over Ethereum and other chains to come out. But now it seems like we're going to big full circle again. I guess they say everything leads back to Bitcoin. And so I think right now we're just in the beginning of it.
So we do have another question here from Jamal, which I'm typing up here. You had said something about searching a particular token on Twitter, but he's having a little bit issue for searching for some tokens. The results were not encouraging. This is also another reason why we say, this is never financial advice, and no way it ever is. And this is still very early, so a lot of things are still coming out. The best way to do this is to see if a project could be legit is through deeper research. So on the BRC-20.io there, that Seattle has up on his screen there, if you were to search the tickers, hashtag with a ticker name there, or even $ with a ticker name there, you might be able to get all the information needed to make an educated guess. On top of that, if you would search simply hashtag BRC20, go to the latest, you will also see what's the latest and greatest out there, what's hot and talked about the most on the BRC chain. So these are going to be the best currently places and ways that you can kind of vet out your own personal way to see if these tokens are something that you might want to be able to invest in.
Exactly. You search on Twitter, gauge the social engagement, how many people are talking about it, and you make the assessment from there. But again, you go to Unisat here, in progress, right? Now let's just go to BRC in progress. Oh, I still have this symbol here. Why is it not? Let's go. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Interesting. Let me just go out. There you go. So in progress, right? There you go. So here you click on that, right? And again, DGOO, 41%, 285. You don't know what the heck that is, like, right? There's no website like CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko right now. It doesn't tell you the website, nothing, right? I'm very confident that this will change very soon here. So they will allow people or developer at least to able to input social media links, etc., website, etc., on here very soon. But again, DGOO, you go back that, grab that over here. Like might say either backslash DG. What is it again? DGOO, right? Or $DGOO, and you hit search, right? And you see how many people are talking about it. I guess this guy's talking about it, right? This person is talking about it. I don't know. I don't have time right now to click on it, but if I was to do research, I would just click on that and see what it leads to, etc. Right? So that's one way to do research on the project. But yes, Twitter right now, it seems like the only way right now. And also just follow the people on BRC20. There's a community on there. There's Twitter Spaces. You want to listen to those spaces as well.
That was a great presentation there, brother. 100%.
All right. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys learned something new, something different. I will encourage you guys to look further into it. Okay. Definitely look further into it. If you are into crypto, you guys are here in crypto. Take advantage of it. Be early in it. Do not wait until there's like huge adoption, and you look back like, fuck, I should have been the first one, right? How many times have we said that to ourselves, right? And it seems like, right, always late, right? But I think that BRC is very new. I think it's only been around a few months, so very new.
100%. I mean, imagine being an early adopter of the ERC-20, but now with all the knowledge that everybody has gained in the space today, knowing what the BRC-20 has potential for, and seeing that the current market cap of BRC-20 is probably still, a couple of billion compared to what the top Bitcoin is, and multiple hundreds of billions there. This is such an early phase for everybody.
100%. Yeah, so I think we will continue to educate you guys. We should do one more class. I think the next class you will see, different companies popped up by then. So hopefully I can bring some of the big players in the space and hold another class with you guys, right? Innovation is happening fast, quick, and every day. So we may do another one maybe a week from now. So that way we're just going to see, what's happening in space then, and hopefully you guys can learn more on it.
Amazing. I think that about wraps it up there, brother. We're going to get this also posted up to YouTube and sent back here so you guys can recap on anything that's needed as well. The PDF file will be sent over to the BRC-20 chat as well. So that way everybody has a written copy to go over if that's a better pace for you. And it's been an amazing presentation. Very good job, Seattle. Amazing job, brother.
Appreciate it, brother. Really appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, this is the end of it, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. We will have this posted on the BRC-20 chat, YouTube as well, and maybe over on Twitter as well. Again, I just want to remind you guys that everything that I just shown you guys is not financial advice, okay? And the information on here that you guys just seen or heard could be like not relevant tomorrow. Like it means nothing tomorrow. So just keep that in mind, okay? So do not go back to the same slides or 6 months from now and like say, what the hell is this shit? It's no longer relevant, right? So we are very early, and innovation is happening around the BRC space every single second. So we'll see. We're going to see some big players coming through the space, and I'm actually very excited for it. And with that said, though, make sure you guys learn. We're going to have some big news coming through.
100%. Stay tuned. Big things coming. This has been a great presentation for everybody. USA Crypto Group loves you all, and we will see you guys either on the next class or AMA. Peace.
All right. See ya.